Welcome everyone to our Dharma discussion group here, and we have some people zooming in online and some people here in the temple. And thank you, Khenpo Tenzin, for illuminating our minds with your knowledge and wisdom. And so we will begin with the people in the temple. If anybody has a question or a comment to get our session started.
Okay, Khenpo, thank you for your teachings. And I have a question about Vajrasattva practice. And when we are visualizing Vajrasattva and the light, what is the essence of the light?
Essence of light is actually we have luminosity in our mind. I think it's okay to say we have luminosity in our mind, but the natural mind is luminosity. And then subtle mind and subtle winds and subtle bindu, they all and they are inseparable, and they are actually the seeds of trikayas. So these yidams appear from the rays of this luminosity. So Vajrasattva appears from luminosity. So that's why the ray of luminosity. So that's why we visualize Vajrasattva. Or sometimes we try to see Vajrasattva, and sometimes we try to understand the light. So eventually Vajrasattva dissolves into the light. So at that time, then we will be able to understand our clarity. So, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Now we'll open it up to our guests in the Zoom room. And if somebody has a question and wants to raise their hand. Okay. So we're going to ask Lundrup to unmute. Okay, I think we should be able to hear you now.
Hello, Khenpo. Is it okay to say the 100 syllable mantra fast, or do we need to pronounce it clearly for the accumulation? And also, do we need to recite it out loud?
Yes, first I'm going to talk about recite aloud or quietly. That is very much depends you. I mean, during your meditation recitation, if your mind is draws knees and fall asleep, and then if you have that, at that moment you are going to recite aloud, loudly. I mean, out loud, but not so loud, because then your neighbors or roommates, they are maybe uncomfortable. So but a little louder is better, and then you listen by yourself when you recite it. And then if your mind is not draws knees and fall asleep, and then especially if your mind is a little bit agitated, then it's better to recite very quietly. Sometimes you can recite kind of mental recitation, but still you are going to move your lips and tongues, tongue and lips, because this is a kind of how to say, it helps you to maintain this on this recitation. And then about the pronunciation, you are going to recite clearly or not. Of course, there is no question. Best way is recite clearly. That's very important. But nowadays, it's quite difficult to recite the mantras clearly, because very few people recite clearly. Clearly is better, yeah. I can say correct and incorrect, but clearly, few people recite clearly. But the Sanskrit language is, I'm not sure if I say that right or wrong, dead language. I mean, it almost disappear in this world, because it's not like the English language. It is not like this Dharma language that right now we are using, because people doesn't use it. Some scholars use it, and then practitioners recite through mantras. So that's where it's quite difficult to say, oh, this is correct and this is incorrect 100%. Of course, we can say 50%, 70%. So my main answer is the best way is recite it clearly. That is important. And then at the same time, I'm going to clarify that one thing, because some maybe feel that oh, I can't recite it correctly or clearly, so it's better to not recite. If one feels like that, then my answer is main thing is faith, devotion when you recite a Vajrasattva mantra, and also mindfulness. You are going to focus Vajrasattva and Mantra Garland or syllable Hong, white Hong. So syllable white Hong, focus on the syllable Hong, especially in this time. White Hong is very important because the Hong represents the luminosity. White Hong is represent luminosity. It is inseparable one's Bendu, and it is the seed of the Dharmakaya, and then this white Hong and Vajrasattva are same, so that's why it's important to focus there, or you focus on the Vajrasattva's form. So these are important. Then you recite mantras clearly as much as possible. Okay?
Yes, thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you.
There's a follow-up question to that regarding the Vajrasattva Mantra Garland. When it's circulating, does the Hong circle with it?
Yes, actually the center of there is a syllable Hong, and then this Hong doesn't want to garland and move. This Hong is a represent of your stability of your meditation mind, so you don't want to move that Hong. And then other 100 syllable mantra garland is better to cycle 3 rounds. three. Om, then Om start from there, and then Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manapalaya, the round, and then last syllable A is the there. So that's where Hong and Om and A, these three syllables should come one direction. That's important. If you have a syllable Hong is here and Om is there and A is here, is incorrect when you place the mantra. You are going to start from Om is here, and then one round, and then little bit another round, and then last there Ah. So they all should be one direction. But then when you are garland this mantra, that Hong should be stay. So that's important.
Next question is from Eleanor. If you can unmute, Eleanor.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Khenpo. I think it's taken me a while, but I think I finally understand what you were trying to tell me about that note in the workbook about Vajrasattva, where it says negativities have no good qualities, except they have one good quality that they go away by laying them aside. And I was really been stuck with what that means, that laying aside is like, how do you do that? And after listening to what you said the first time I asked you this about 20,000 times, I think I finally got it. So I'm going to tell you, and then I would like you to just say, yes, that's right, or, correct me where I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. And I think what that means is the level somehow that you're looking at the negativities. If you look at the negativities like they're negative, then you're sort of looking at it from a very samsaric level. But if you look at the negativities as an opportunity to purify, somehow the process of going through the Vajrasattva, the mantra, the visualization, the process of all that somehow or other gets you further on the path, such that you can look back at them somehow and see them then as opportunities. Is that what that means?
Yes, actually, yeah, that's you are right. And for example, if I have a problem, and then if that problem is permanently exists in my life, and I try to many times to remove this, if I could not, then that problem has no problem doesn't have a single quality. I cannot say, oh, that problem is good because I don't have a reason that. But if I have a problem, and the problem is problem, but fortunately I can remove that because I using some other kind of methods. For that reasons, I can remove this, or I could remove that problem, and then I can say, yeah, that problem is not a good thing, but fortunately I could remove that, so that is not permanently that isn't stay with me permanently. So in that moment I'll just mention quality, single quality of this problem. But if we don't say that it is the quality of problem, it's okay. I think it's okay. But the main thing is when we understand that non-virtue, we can purify non-virtues, whether we say it has a good quality or not. The main thing is we are going to understand that we can purify non-virtues. So then we have a confidence. Oh, practice Vajrasattva is a method to remove or purify non-virtues. And then if we practice Vajrasattva, we can purify the breakage of samaya, or we can purify non-virtues. Then we have confidence. Or if we do something, we can do it. So that is the main thing. Otherwise, if we don't know that non-virtues, we can purify non-virtues or not, then it's quite difficult to practice Vajrasattva, because we need some reason. Why do we practice Vajrasattva? Because we are going to purify the non-virtues. And then if one asks, can we purify non-virtues through Vajrasattva practice? And then answer is of course, because non-virtues are impermanence. Or other way we can say non-virtues has a single quality, that is we can purify it. Yeah, like that.
Oh, that's also helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
I've
much.
gone nuts with that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have one question from somebody in the temple.
We might have two questions from someone in the temple, but thank you, Khenpo.
Thank
you. Since this thread is alive, I'll go with the first question. It deals with Eleanor's question and something Tom asked last week around confessing. So you just spoke a lot about purification, but how does one confess well? I imagine there's certain ways of confessing more properly.
yes.
And then when it deals with Vajrasattva, is how do we incorporate confession into the Vajrasattva practice?
All right. So confess is the words that we did something wrong before, and then we are going to fix it, or we are going to do something with that. Yeah. So that's where first we are sure that we cultivated some negative karmas. So that's where we are samsaric being right now. And then how to confess it kind of properly is that we need a few powers. So we have those powers, but we are going to bring these powers together. So that's where we have the section of Vajrasattva in the preliminary practice. The first power is we are going to ask Vajrasattva, please help me to purify or confess my non-virtues. And then if we say that, then Vajrasattva says yes, answer yes, and he comes to us to help to confess this. And then Vajrasattva In other hands, we say Vajrasattva is already here, but we ask him to confess my non-virtues or not. This is in our hand, our decision. So then, so number one is power. The first power is the Vajrasattva, and then second power is then the we need regret. Without regret, then we cannot confess clearly, properly. So the regret is not good in many times, but we need regret about non-virtues. If we don't have regret about non-virtues, then we can recite something, we can practice physically, but it's still we cannot practice in the mind. The problem is the imprint of this negative karma is in our mind, not outside of somewhere. So that's where regret, when we have regretting or regret, at that moment, this imprint of the non-virtues cannot stay with that regret because they are opposite. It's like sunlight and darkness. So the second part, regret, is very important. Regret that, oh, I did this or that, or I for sure I did that because I have that result, something like that. It's we realize through that way. And then another power is we need the promised commitment, actually the kind of vows, yeah. So that I will not do that again because I did that, so that's where I happened this. So now I will not do this, something like that. So you promised in front of Vajrasattva, for example, and you need a promise. And then you have regretting and promise, and then you have supporter, that is a Vajrasattva, helper, he helps you, and then one needs antidotes. The antidotes, that is the recitation of mantra, 100-syllable mantra, for example. So these four powers come together, then these powers became becoming very powerful. That's where then non-virtues and breakage samaya's power is not powerful as that power. So that's where then you start to remove or purify, confess. You say confess these non-virtues within imprint of these non-virtues. So then what happens is your luminosity naturally your luminosity is clarity and very pure, no doubt. It's very pure, but it wears some kind of dirt clothes, something like that. This is the breakage in samaya and non-virtues. So then you purify them. So that's where then you will be able to see Vajrasattva directly in your meditation mind. And then slowly you will become Vajrasattva. So that's also, I think I can mention in other way that non-virtues as a quality. Because of non-virtues, we can see the Vajrasattva, we can become Vajrasattva. And right now we practice, we can't see Vajrasattva directly, but we believe. For example, we are in early morning, tomorrow morning, 4:30. 4:30 we are waiting the sunrise. And we believe the sunrise is from the east mountain. So we are waiting that. So if we can, we waiting there, then if we can wait the sunrise and then sunrise, maybe 6:30 a.m. or 7 a.m. the sunrise, and then we can see the sun directly. It is an example. So the properly confessing means that we need 4 powers. Okay.
Thank you, Khenpo.
You're welcome.
The other quick question, I forget the name of it, the prayer we sang at the end of this morning's session, the blessings prayer, strong boys and virtuous girls and gold and sheep.
The moment ago we decided that one?
No, this morning after White Tara.
Oh, King of Aspiration?
Yes, yeah.
King of Aspiration.
Yeah, sorry, the King of Aspiration. I don't think it was the King prayer, but the blessing prayer that you usually sing. Not the King of Prayer.
So Zambala.
Zambala, yeah.
Oh, blessing down.
The blessings prayer, yeah. Zambala, yes, sorry. At the end of that, when we do a short meditation,
Oh, right.
there's always this pith instruction of seal.
Oh, yes.
Or sometimes maybe samaya seal.
Yes.
Can you describe in more detail
Yes.
what that means? Thank you.
Yes, the seal has two. There are a few meanings, but first seal means that in this case, what should we understand is mayang and rest undistractedly. Jimmy is search tong. If other thoughts comes, you just acknowledge their thoughts and then watch the essence of these thoughts, and then at that moment you can see the essence of thoughts, but the clothes of these thoughts are actually, we say, thoughts, so they are just disappear. Jimmy is turned to drang and the talesho, that means rest on the simplicity, kind of rest at ease. And then after later it says samaya seal. Samaya seal means in this case you are going to relax on the natural state of mind. So seal means not separate. Your mind and this natural state of mind will not separate each others. So that's also okay to understand this way. But most of the text it says samaya seal means, for instance, Guru Rinpoche came to Tibet and he wrote many kind of treasure. These are many texts. He wrote many texts, and then he has a healing power. That means he gives his disciples some special disciples, and then sometimes he put under the water, into the rock, mountain rock, underneath some trees. He wrote just a few sentences. Sometimes he wrote only one syllable or something like that. And then he says samaya seal means he ordered to the mountain gods or spirits gods that you are going to save this here until time comes. Don't put this in the hand of who break in samaya, and don't lose this, and you must keep it. So that's where Guru Rinpoche came to Tibet. He conquered many demons and many ghosts. First they against Guru Rinpoche and fought with Guru Rinpoche. And then Guru Rinpoche, he has a vajra. Sometimes he threw that vajra and then sometimes attack someone's eyes or something like that, and then the commitment. Some kind of a ghost run away into the lake, water, like an ocean, small ocean, we call lake. And then Guru Rinpoche recite mantra and boiled this water. And then they cannot stay inside, and then they come out and run away. And then Guru Rinpoche threw the Vajra. And then they hurt. And then they come back and promised, oh, no, I cannot fight with you. And then Guru Rinpoche says, okay, you should promise to me and you will protect Dharma and Dharma practitioners, but don't destroy any other beings. And then they promised that, and then they already have a power, and then Guru Rinpoche's power being union these powers. And then Guru Rinpoche say you should keep this letter until 500 years later, for example, or maybe 100 years later. And then there were coming one, for example, spiritual master. He did not mention the whole names, for example, beginning names. First name is like a Ka, or it meant A or B or something like that. Or then he mentioned a kind of these names come at that time you should give that person. And then that person came, and then that person see this letter, and they have a special connection with Guru Rinpoche. So this Samaya connection with this through Samaya, pure Samaya, Guru Samaya. And then they write more and more. So that's where there are many texts. So this that's where Samaya seal means until time come, don't allow, I am not allow you to bring that outside of this mountain rock. So they should keep this for many years. That's also one reason. We say Samaya says, okay.
Next, we have in our Zoom room Goli, who wants to ask a question. So if you can unmute yourself, Goli.
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you, yes.
다시 되네. Thank you for your beautiful answers, Khenpo.
Thank you.
I have a quick clarification about how the mantra circulates for Vajrasattva. When you have the Hum, and then the Om, and then the Ah, and then it goes around maybe 3 times down. It's not connected at the top and the bottom. So does the whole thing, when it rotates, does it all rotate around like that? Like, because usually a mantra is one circle, right?
All right.
The beginning and the end are next to each other, and then it just goes around like that. But then this one, the top and the bottom are not connected, so it just without those being connected, they just circle like that.
Oh, actually, I can see here. So I guess you say the Hong and the mantra. So that's where this Vajrasattva mantra garland clockwise. So that's why you can make size of the Hong in this case. During the Vajrakila, we said the thumb size or something like that. There are some special way to visualize. The sides. This size we are going to visualize that size or this size, something like that. But during the Vajrasattva, you can make big Hong, or you can visualize small Hong. So that's why first you are right. Most of mantra one circle, but 100 syllable you can place one circle. That is also correct. There doesn't necessary to 3, but this mantra is a very long. 100 syllable mantra is a very long mantra. So that make one cycle is quite difficult. So that's where most of these texts mentioned three round. So that's where top of the nada area, the mantra nada area. Then you can visualize the om there, place om there, but then the probably come to the area of Shabju. Shabju means very the lower the home. There is Shabju, yeah. So that area you can visualize the home. The main home is in the center area. So it's clear.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, does anyone else have a question or a comment?
I actually have another question.
Oh, yes, please.
This one is about the Tara mantra. I have several different versions of the sadhana that we use. And in one of them, it says the translation of the mantra is, "O Tara, swift liberator from suffering." And then in the other one, it says, "Liberate me from suffering, danger, and illness." So is suffering, danger, and illness part of the mantra, "Liberate me from suffering, danger, and illness"? The second part in both of them is the same: increase my lifespan, wisdom, and merit. But in one of them it just says suffering, and then the first part is or suffering, danger, and illness.
Oh, you mean this Tara mantra explanation?
Yes. Om Tare Sutare Sujanam.
Oh, yeah, that's actually Om Tare, Tu Tare, Ture so far. That Tare, actually Om Tare means Om is the head of mantra, that's you know. And then Om Tare. Tare is actually the the liberation, because we call Tara means Tare and Tara same, yeah. So Tara liberation, and the means we call Dharma. Dol means liberation. So liberation or liberator. Tare. Tu Tare is actually in this case Tu Tare is quickly, because in the Tibetan it says Dharma, Nirma, Parmo. So Nirma means quickly. The Tara removes obstacles or suffering. One day in the future, then we are dissatisfied. One day, liberate me. We don't say like that. So we need to quickly remove. How to say? We need to liberate quickly. So that's why we say it. Om Tare, Tu Tare. Ture also is okay, like what is called this glories. I think glories. We can understand glories, but as you said, you're right. There are different explanations because the Sanskrit translated from Sanskrit to Tibetan, then the sentence structures, and sometimes they explain words by words. The Nyingma, one Nyingma master, almost we can say head of Nyingma master, he composed, he wrote many books, and right now all the Nyingma practitioners studied his books. We call Mipam, Kunchi Mepam, omniscient Mepam Janso, who wrote the praise to Lord Jigten Sunggung. This we recite the yellow book, page number, I think 26, page number 26. So he has the commentary or sorry, translation in Sanskrit to in Tibetan. He translated words by words. It's very details. And then there's also another scholars, they translated the meaning of the mantra. So I think either is fine. That's my answer. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Goli. Now we'll go to Jay, who has a question. If you can unmute.
Hello, Khenpo.
Hello.
I gotta get this taken care of. So I have a question on the jewel ornament of liberation. And on, hang on, let me get to where I got it. They talk about meditative concentration. So concentration is basically just from the meditative standpoint. And they talk about 4 doors of meditative concentration. And so I'm hoping you can kind of explain those 4 meditative concentrations a little bit more detail. I just have what the results of them are. And then are the doors where you go through the first door and then the second door and then the third door and then the fourth door, or sometimes in the meditative concentration, does one go directly to the third door and not passing through the first and the second?
Meditation, concentration. Actually, I think I should answer this next week because I don't remember clearly that part, because there are perhaps that's because I'm mixing with 4 dhyanis. We call dhyanis. So
yeah,
so because that is also there. So if you are on this part, then the 4 dhyanis actually are the first is the desire realms. The meditator who sees that desire realm, the thoughts of this desire realm is very gross thoughts, because very strong thoughts. For example, grasping, attachment, and the aversions are very gross. We can feel it, and then those meditators don't like these even meditation of desire realms. They don't like it, and then they focus on the second dhyani. Then they thought, that is very peaceful and very subtle, calm down, and something like that. That's where they focus on their second dhyani very much. It's very kind of relaxed, peaceful, something like that. They feels like that. And then the third and the fourth is even they are rest on this third and the fourth dhyanis are they are rest on the nature peacefully, and then still they are a little bit examining that, this is the my final one, or still I have another kind of another one. So they a little bit examining, and then they found the third dhyani, or third dhyani is the best one. And then they have on the stage of a third dhyani, dhyani, they have a very special bliss. So that's what we say. Sometimes we practice shamatha and we have 3 experiences. So if we fixate on the third experience, which is bliss during the meditation shamatha, sometimes somebody punch or somebody scoots our flash, but still we experience happiness or bliss. So then we start to fixate that we think this is now I gain the final or highest realization. So we fixate that. That's where then we will not freed from the 4th dhyani. So these dhyani meditations are great meditation or experiences and realizations, but they are not real authentic experiences. They are not Buddha's meditation of experiences of Buddha's meditation, because we cannot become enlightened completely. And then suddenly means but another 4 door is, I think you are saying that 4 door means first they think everything is like boundless, like the consciousness. So everything is just a consciousness. There's nothing else. So this is the first door. That means they only focus on the consciousness, and then they rest on there, relax on there. They can rest there actually there's many kind of hundreds of years on this samadhi. So there are some practical Buddhas and many practical Buddhas, they meditate on there. So they thought that is the final enlightenment. But then some those meditators, first they thought everything is just a phenomena, and they rest there, and then slowly they understand, not just this consciousness, everything is empty space, like a boundless empty space. That's where they say everything is like a boundless empty space, and then they rest there for many years on this meditation experience, and then they maintain there, and eventually they recognize that it isn't final enlightenment, and then they improve their meditation level. So then they reached nothing. They reached on the stage of nothing. So this nothing, and some the non-Buddhists says nothing are different. So they say nothing means whatever we see, like these material things, people, human, river, mountains, they all nothing. Everything is just on the how to say outside of the mind, outside of the space, just nothing. And then they rest like in the empty space for many years, and then they maintain on there, and still eventually they realize that they are still on the one direction. They remain in the one direction. They could not completely they could not became enlightened completely. So that's where then they come to kind of a middle way, madhyamaka. It's a not yes, not no, something like that. Not nihilism, not externalism, something like they are middle way. They reach on there, and then they maintain on there many years. So that is the 4th door. And eventually what happened is they all come back in the samsara. Samsara means they already in the samsara, but they gain the higher realization of experiences of meditation. So eventually they should come back. So that's where there is a we say three spheres is also is a form realm and desire realm, form realm, and formless realm. So these four doors or four experiences of meditation, where and who experiences these four doors of meditations? The beings who are in the formless realms, they can experience these four doors of meditations. Otherwise, we can't do right now because we have this desire realm. We have a special opportunity, but we have lots of obstacles. I don't remember the example certainly. Otherwise, we are kind of we can say we are on the path of special opportunity, and also we are very dangerous place because we eat gross food, and we are working with the gross thoughts. That's where we are almost ready to fall on the lower realms if we one step forward through this way, something like that. But on the other hand, we have a special 6 kind of dhatus. We have a special 6 dhatus. That's where we can attain Buddhahood in this life, within this body. So we are very special path, but we are very dangerous area. So this human desire in the beings of desire realm is like that. Otherwise, those formless realms, the beings who are in the formless realms, they have nothing to do more things. They always meditate. And they gain those meditation experiences, realizations. So maybe you are mentioning the second part of four doors, yeah? Do you think so? Oh, thank you so much. And I think then there are lots of explanations. Maybe another time or so we can discuss that. It's important too, okay?
Thank you.
I'm hoping everyone can see on the screen this mantra. Do you see it, Khenpo?
This emptiness, I can't see already.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I believe through yours, sanghas are here, so sorry about that.
Okay.
That's why I'm looking over there, or I was.
Okay, so there's hopefully we're going to get that turned on for you. There's a mantra that one of the participants shared, and she's wanting to know if this is a correct. Is the TV on? Anyway, we may not be able to get Khenpo to be able to see it. We're going to try one second here. Try one other thing. Okay, but maybe everybody else can see it who's in the Zoom room. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. That's us.
Okay.
Let me see. Om, yes. Oh, exactly. That's one correct.
Okay, good.
So this start from Om. Om Vajrasato Samaya Mandabalaya. It's going clockwise. But when you place it anti-clockwise, that's I forgot to say. Otherwise the Hong, but in this picture Hong and Om they are same direction. That is correct. If slightly you pull the a little bit others right side, my right side, then it's come very, how to say, same line of the Hong syllable, and then probably that is actually nice, same directions, but still need to improve same line. That's what I think. Okay.
All right, thank you. I'm glad we got that shared. Okay, we have 4 minutes left. Time for one more question. Anybody? Comment? Khenpo, do you want to
Oh,
say anything?
yeah, thank you so much for all of you to ask me questions, and the questions are very important that Rinpoche sees through his wisdom. He often told us to discuss and question answers, and also I often told you that your questions are like a Dharma generosity. There are many ways to practice generosity, but Dharma generosity is a very unique, a very important one. So that's why when you ask, even you ask questions to me, it benefits to me. That is a proof that you can benefit other Dharma friends. And also, if you ask the questions, and then sometimes my answers may not correct. Sometimes I give a long answer to short question. Sometimes I give very short answer to long question. If something happened like that, then you are the best object to confess. So I confess all of these mistakes. And then thank you so much, and I deeply rejoice all your questions, wonderful questions. And then you should realize that all the Dharma protectors rejoice to you and they protect you. And thank you so much. Paying option. What it says? To see image, click on the page.
Thank you so much, Khenpo. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And please write down your questions, save them for next Sunday afternoon. And we will all gather together again.
Okay.
Everyone be well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And please give rise bodhicitta in your mind, and we dedicate our merit. Okay? Chancho zenjo renpo ma je ba na je 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 ba nyam ba me ba yang o ne gong de be wa jo. Thank you so much, all you. Thank you.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you. Happy to see you.